different people from a few different parts of the world. And we are very excited to hear from them and their experiences. We'll just jump right into it. First, we will start with Riot Ahmed from Bangladesh and who is part of the team Falcon X. And I'm so excited to hear from you, Riot. Thank you for joining us. Please take it away.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I'm about to share my screen. All right, hope my screen is visible. So, hi, welcome from Falcon X. What I'm going to tell you guys about the stories, the works, the voices, the thoughts of all six of us. So, these are we don't get we don't get to meet all at same time, so I had to edit everyone's single photo to this, and I think it's looking stylish and cool. So yeah, let's start with introduction. Our team leader is Siam, myself Rayat, and here you go Safayat, then Prince, then Nehal, and Sami. We Falconex worked on delivering a message about light pollution, which is we in our country, Bangladesh's term, we call Alok Barta, which is in English called a message of light. But we improvised a bit and we gave our English version, or the English name of our project is Project Lumina. So let's talk about the origin of our project Lumina. It all started in 2023 when one of our team members, Safayat, came up with this idea. He thought that in our country, light pollution, we don't talk much about light pollution. We know about air pollution, water, sound, and so on, but we don't talk much about the light pollution. So he shared this plan with Siam and Nehal, and there were many members back then at the first. So they came up with plan and started building a project. At first, we are actually just higher school past students. Back then, we were just studying in higher secondary school. So, uh, out of relevance, we thought of building a project like we present projects in science fairs, inter-school and college science fairs. So at first we th thought of making a project which will represent the solutions of light pollution. By that we can represent to people, uh, we can let know the people that light pollution is a thing. We can even artificial lights or some other sources can do the pollution other than air, water, and so on. So we made a project at first, and I should say we believe that the first stepping stone was when we presented our project in one of the biggest science festival in our country, Bangladesh. So that was DRMC Science Festival, which organized by Dhaka Residential Model College Science Club. And there at the first site, at the first stage, we managed to get an award. We became runner-up among all other projects. And it was something inspiring for us. It made us think that no, it's not something just kids project. We can do a lot better. We can go far ahead. And so these prizes are just not prizes, not just some awards. It's some recognition. It's it's inspiring us, pushing us to go further. Then we continue, and the Project Lumina finally comes to this. So from 2023, we, under the Project Lumina, we Falcon X made a journey. We did a journey, and our journey can be described into 3 steps, as you see in the slides. We first went to the collecting data. If I clarify, we actually did some field works where we go in many places in Dhaka city, which is the capital city of Bangladesh, and uh, according to every sources, it's the most polluted it's the most light pollution affected city in Bangladesh. So we first did some data collection, which I will add more about on that info later. After that, according to the data, we experiment and observed and came up with new solutions, and we did present the old solutions and check the old solutions as well. And finally, we shared our findings among others, the local people, through our research paper and by presenting our past projects in many science expos. So our first step was that data collection, where what we did actually, we went many sectors in Dhaka city, like in hospitals, schools, offices, markets, super shops. And what we did actually, we took a lux meter. I hope you all know that, which is used to measure lux coming out from a light. So using a lux meter, we measured the amount of lux through many different sectors in Dhaka, like I said earlier, hospitals, markets, super shops, etc. And for study area, we chose Dhaka city, which is the most polluted city in Bangladesh as for light pollution. As you can see in the map in my slide, that it is clear that this map was captured from the Google map in the night version, where you can clearly see that the Dhaka city, the red marked area, is the most light pollution affected city, right? So, which is why we chose Dhaka as a study area. And of course, 5 of us are from Dhaka city, and one of us is one of us and another, we 5 of us lives in Dhaka city, and the other one also live close to the Dhaka cities. So it was easier for us to measure in such place. We went through the many hospitals, super shops, lifts, doors, offices, and many other places. And here are some pictures of our collecting data. We actually I should mention about the lux meter, that we just went through went through a light source, like we are standing under a light, and we started measuring it by opening the lux meter and um, following the readings from the lux meter, and we are we were seeing what's the lux was. Is it under the standard level, or it just exceeded the standard level? And our findings was this: we found an standard illumination system from internet, and we compared our findings with that standard illumination level chart. And what we found that it's very alarming, it's just devastating that none of these stores, none of these shops, none of these hospitals, restaurants, none of these aren't maintaining the standard amount of lux. They all exceeded the amount of lux, and which is why the light pollution occurs the most in Dhaka city. Like, as we can see the chart that we from the standard illumination chart, we found that the standard illumination level for conventional stores, supermarkets, general stores, staff restaurants, cafeterias. These are tend to be in 500 lux, which is the standard level. But what we measured that they are not uh, they are not keeping the level. They did unplanned artificial lights. They did unplanned artificial light system, and which is why the lux level increased. These all sources came from artificial light, and this was very, very unplanned. Then we went for the solution. We wanted to introduce the old solutions and invent some new ones to prevent light pollution in Dhaka city. So this was our project. It's a miniature model where we try to represent a city or town or building, some sort of. Where we actually wanted to do is just present the miniature lamppost and the light system, the artificial light system. And these were the solutions we tried to cover up in our miniature model, which is which is the some old solutions where we using proper shades for street lights, then controlling street lights via sensor, using proper color light, warmer light is good, using more silver-plated glass, ensuring proper light anglement and height. I hope you all know that. Let's jump in. So what we did, our miniature project, is that we, as we did earlier, that in many areas we went there and measured our measured the lux level through lux meter, and we did the same for our own project. In that miniature model, we set up some light sources, and we tried to measure it through by our lux meter, and we came up with this like one solution was to using more silver plated glass. Like the windows generally comes up transparent, almost transparent. If we add more silver plating into it, then then the lux will decrease. What I mean here is that when we tested two glasses, one was transparent and other was more silver plated, then we found that the light source in a house, that coming out of the window, when it comes to the transparent glass, it was higher lux level. It was covering higher lux level. It was showing the reading that it's high lux level. And when we used more silver plating or enhanced silver plated glass, we found out that the lux level decreased. So we came up with that. Yes, we can we can replace those transparent windows with enhanced silver-plated glasses. Another solution from us, like advancing schedule, which was we here's a chart of the first first table shows that the current working hour, the current availability of our biggest shopping complexes in Dhaka city, which is Basundhara Shopping Complex, Jamuna Future Park, Dhaka New Market, etc. Is where we found that their availability, the active hour is kind of 9 to 11 hours, and these are huge areas. These are super shops. These covers many super shops. These include many super shops, general stores, etc. And total, we in the table we also showed the area of these shopping complexes. And another thing we found that they're doing the extra lightening for like 1 to 2 hour, which is clearly doing light pollution. How? Well, we don't need light always, right? We need light when no, we will turn on the light when we need to. And uh, if we turned on the light when I don't need it, then obviously it will do the light pollution. So we came up with an advancing schedule which decreased those extra lightning hours, and we just showed that we analyzed that this by decreasing those lighting hours, we are also saving energy. We are decreasing our energy consumption, which is more clear in this chart. The red one is uh, current energy consumption, and the green one is suggesting current energy consumption. We also try to build some shadings in our miniature model, which is obviously still visible, is still available, but is a matter of sorrow that in Dhaka city it's not being implemented uh, to every light sources in every street lights of Dhaka. So we tried to build some covers in our light sources where we try to see what the lux level of that, and we found that the triangular one, you can see in the picture that we try to build a 4 street lights where one is without cover, one is one-sided, just flat cover, another one two-sided, it's triangular, and the other one was entirely covered. So we measured the lux level of this, and we found out that the triangular one did the good lightening. It covered the whole street as well as covering the enough light to reduce light pollution. We also showed in our project that using warmer color of light is much good for preventing light pollution. We all know about the solutions. What I am trying to tell her is that what we presented in our project through to others. We also measured the anglement and height by using different heights and angles in our project, and we also mentioned that which one is good and which one is not to be practiced. Another thing we showed in our projects that we we can control the street lights using AI and sensor. Like we can implement an AI based lighting system in our cars so that it will dimmed a bit when the headlight of the car will be dimmed a bit when it was turned on in AI mode to prevent light pollution. We also showed in our project the street lights sensor we saw generally used in other countries. The like when no vehicles is on the way, the lights will be turned off, and when a vehicle comes, it will turn on the whole light, and when it goes off, it will turn off. Here is the some findings what we measured through our lux meter from our projects, where we showed the suggested solutions we can take for preventing light pollution. Let's talk about ourselves, what we did about. Okay, so all we found everything by doing field works, by experimenting and observing, inventing new and old solutions. We came up with a research paper, which is the title of is that assessment of artificial light intensity in Dhaka city, addressing light pollution and mitigation strategies. The paper is currently under reviewing process. I hope it will be published soon. It will be accepted and published soon. So these are some pictures of us. Uh, it's us showing representing the light pollution solutions that to many science expos, like I said earlier that we we didn't abandon our project. After our first win, we continued to represent those projects, those solutions to others uh, for these 2 years, and we presented our solutions in many ways. And there are some inspiring moments. We got some results from our solutions, like these awards recognitions mm, in, uh, actually means that people is keen to know keen to know more about our project. They are more interested in preventing light pollution, and after getting those recognition, it inspired us more to continue our journey. So uh, we we are thinking that people are thinking, started to think about the harm of light pollution, and I hope they will raise we raised enough awareness among them, and we are not stopping. We are still trying to get enough fund, manpower, and trying to get our solution implemented by government, which will be much easier to prevent the light pollution. Uh, that's it. That was presented by Falconex, and these are the members. Like, if I be more specific, Motahir Hossein Siam, Safayat Hossein did the most of the field works, Rahat Hossein Prince as well, and myself and Nehal and Sami did did the most of the work of the research paper, the writing of the research paper. And last but not least, let's share some of our funny moments, some memorable moments during our journey. So, one during our fieldworks, we have often faced with many, many problems. Like once we we were trying to measure the lux level in a super shop, and the designated security guards, they're coming here and just he thought that something's fishy here. He tried to he was asking us that, what we are doing here, what is this thing pointing at the lux meter. So we faced many incidents or many problems while we were doing the field work. We were questioned by public many times. We were asked that, what is this thing, what are we doing? They were thinking that we came to raid, or we came from the government or something. So these are the some funny moments. While we were presenting our projects in many science expos, we always had to build up the whole projects for like 2 days, because every time we came from a science expo, the project seemed to be broken, the fully broken. I don't know how, but it happened. So every time we were before the expo, we had to rebuild the project many times. So after all of these experiences, we think we are we are we maybe we award many people in Dhaka city. We let them know about the uh, cause, harms, and the solutions of light pollution. So we will continue our journey and use artificial light in an efficient way. That's it.
Thank you, Riot, for sharing. That was so great to hear from yourself and the team Falcon X. Congratulations on all the work you're doing in Bangladesh. And we look forward to speaking with you further during our Q&A portion. Now, we actually have a little change to the agenda. Joining from her car is Ainsley Hardy. We have a guest speaker calling in from Australia. Ainsley is a tourism and community development officer of the Shire of Upper Gascoyne. Did I say that right? Sorry, Ainsley. Oh, you're muted.
Hi, everyone.
There we go. Welcome.
Sorry for not. I'm sorry that I'm greeting you from my car. I've had some technical difficulties this morning, but that's okay. We can overcome these things. So, I'm sitting in Perth today, which is our capital city, and I'm about 1,000 kilometres away from home in the Upper Gascoyne. Now, a, I do have a presentation with some photos and the like, but I might have to get us to attach that later on. So, what I was wanting to share with you today is a little bit about our journey towards becoming part of the International Dark Sky Accreditation process. We um, began last year, or earlier this year, sorry, to become a dark sky community, and we have a long-term goal of becoming a dark sky reserve. So the Shire of Upper Gascoyne is located um, in the middle of Western Australia. If you look between Exmouth and Shark Bay, we're about 176 kilometres inland from Carnarvon. Now, our local government area covers 57,809 square kilometres. So that makes us bigger than many European countries. And in that area, there is 170 of us that live there. So putting that into perspective, we've got 0.0004 people per square kilometre where we live. So that is 57,809 square kilometres of pristine night skies that we hold very, very dear. Our Indigenous populations have used the skies for navigation and to help them with knowing the seasons of animals and their food source over tens of thousands of years. So it's a really vital asset to protect for them, but also for everybody that is there today and for future generations. So my background is I grew up in Melbourne, which is the capital city of Victoria in Australia, on what was my family's dairy farm, and it was right on the outskirts of Melbourne, on the train line, on the suburban train line. And over my childhood, I watched our dark sky, the stars that I was used to having, get less and less and less as farmlands were sold off, so that more residential land, housing and residences could be built to keep up with Melbourne's growing urban sprawl. And it's not until you get out into, out of the city that you get to see those beautiful stars again. And it's something that I know that that I get to walk outside every night and see a canopy of stars, and I am just so, so privileged. So when I arrived in Gascoyne Junction in 2021, at the very beginning of the year, my job was as the tourism and community development officer, was to work with the community towards goals that they wanted to represent our community, but also in a tourism space. What was it that we could encourage people to come and visit our part of the world, to stay a day longer or a night longer? And the night skies became a really focal point for me to encourage people to spend another night with us in the Upper Gascoyne. Um, in a perfect world of things turning, it was also at the time where the 2023 solar eclipse was being really spoken about, and a lot of government funding was around in the astrotourism space because of this really big iconic event that was happening in our region. So, for a bit of context, we had about a 90% coverage where we were. We're about 500 k's south of Exmouth, where the main eclipse happened. Now, in our backyard, in that 57,000 odd square kilometres, we've got two national parks: Mount Augustus National Park, which is one of the largest monoclines in the world. It's double the size of Uluru. People can still climb it. It's a space where there's a tourist park at the base of it, and people can camp there and look over the mount of a night and watch the sunrise and the emu in the sky and the Milky Way rise and set over it in the evening, and then the sunrise in the morning. We've got Kennedy Range National Park, which stretches for 75 kilometres along our western boundary, which is also another epic place. Plus, we also sit on Western Australia's longest river, which is the Gascoyne River, and it's part of a larger 80,000 square kilometre river catchment. So through our shire, people are doing predominantly pastoral stations, those big epic cattle ranches that you hear about. They are what we have all around us, and even some of those are bigger than small European countries. Um, there's so there's not our there's not a lot of light around. So light pollution isn't really an issue for us, but our point is that we don't want it to be an issue for us. So as I said, getting back to the solar eclipse, there was lots of money around, and I had the opportunity to meet a lovely lady called Carol Redford, who runs Astrotourism WA. And she has started a fantastic network of towns across Western Australia who have goals and values that are similarly aligned, and we became part of the Tourism WA network. So, as part of that, we had Carol come and visit, and we went and identified spots across the Shire that would encourage great sites for people to come to gaze at the stars, to participate in astrophotography, and we started measuring what our light pollution was. So even in some of our brightest spots in town, standing under our major intersections with streetlights, we still measure at 21.10. And in town, at our darkest spot that's still near a light source, we regularly record 21.5 and 21.6, which is incredible. We joke that we can walk home by starlight. We don't actually need the lights. So, in our little town itself, which is our focus at the moment of becoming a dark sky community, um, we have had Carol come and chat to the community about why it's so important for us to preserve our night skies, and got me to thinking, what could we do to be better? How could we lower our impact? So in town we have 18 street lights. So my goal is to get them all replaced and to have um, dark sky approved lighting in place. So I want to be less than 3,000 lumens. We're getting there. Our problem is that currently they're not available to local governments to purchase in Western Australia. So Carol leading the charge and with us advocating, and we work really closely in partnership with um, local electricity, um, our local electricity company. We decided to have a conversation and created a community forum where we got everybody together at the pub on a Friday night, and we sat there and spoke to everyone about light pollution, and not just what it would be to bring tourists and attract tourism to town. That's a great goal, but also what it would mean for us in terms of our natural environment, our native animals that we have that are so close to town. Animals are very much a part of our economy, but also for us as humans living there, how to make the most of our natural environment and keep lighting, in a way that is great for us in our well-being. And we got a categorical thumbs up. Let's go ahead with this. This will be fantastic. So so from that next step, we have been working with our power company to develop a pilot program so that when a product becomes available, that we are able to come in and be a case study and put new street lighting through for all of us that meet standards. Um, as a council, we adopted a dark sky lighting policy so that any future building that happens in the Shire has to adhere to our dark sky policies. And we're actually in the process of doing our first amendment to that, which is really exciting, which is a really exciting process. Um, the other things that have happened is our kids in our local community school have just grabbed this idea, and a little while back, they participated in a science and space project with SciTech here in Western Australia. And they needed to problem solve and help solve a problem that would help scientists explore space. And they decided that they needed to have telescopes that were able to see the night skies that weren't impacted by light. So the kids from prep through to grade 7 used their 3D printer and created night shades or light shades for lights with their printers that would be a way to help reduce light pollution and keep light going in the direction that it was meant to go. And one of our students, who was in grade 3 at the time, traveled 1,000 kilometers on a plane for the very first time and spoke to a whole audience of people about the importance of light pollution and what it meant to her. And it was such a rewarding thing to see. So that's been a really fun thing. We've got development going, new houses going in. We're a growing town. We're not a town that is slowing down. So we are going to need to put some more than 18 street lights in soon. But in the meantime, we've sourced some portable lights that are solar panelled, but also are reactionary. So they only come on if somebody walks past. So they're not on every night. And so if a vehicle goes past or a light goes past, we're able to they only activate then and then disappear. So that's a wonderful progress as well. So it's not adding to our permanent footprint of what we have in the night sky at the moment. So that's one of our projects that we've been working on. The other project is we've got really involved in educating not only our community but visitors that come into our community about the benefit of protecting our night skies and thinking about how we use lights in our homes and in our spaces. So we regularly hold stargazing evenings. The Shire itself has purchased a telescope, and we've worked with our local development commission and Astrotourism WA, and we've had funding to have people come out and train volunteers in our community on being able to present stargazing evenings. And we deliver these on a regular basis, and we have a really big component in there about light pollution education. So all of these things came together in 2023, and our community was actually named Australia's most sustainable community by the Keep Australia Beautiful campaign for our works, amongst other projects that we do. But this dark sky and light pollution was a really big chunk of what we were doing in that award. So we have had community events where we've had the guys from Perth Observatory come up with their telescopes and again provide an education opportunity for us to learn more about how to use telescopes. And we went on a four-wheel drive track to the top of our Kennedy Range, and we had multi-generations sitting around a telescope and enjoying the vastness of our night skies. So it's really bringing everybody together, and um, so many volunteers to come out and go, oh, I'll come and help with the night sky, the dark sky night. We've created an annual festival called Under Gascoigne Skies, where we celebrate life under Gascoigne skies, but we also celebrate the beautiful night sky that we get to live under as well. And this in 2026, we're actually going to be holding our first art and photography competition that will be based around celebrating under Gascoigne skies. So that will be a really fun weekend, which will be in May of 2026. And again, we'll have stargazing evenings a part of that. We've also incorporated stargazing into food festival events. We are part of the Gascoyne area, which is really rich in producing food in Western Australia, from the ocean to the soil and to on the land. And so we now do that where we have long table dinners out under our Gascoigne skies and have telescopes there for people to go and look at the night sky between main course and desserts. So we're really bringing all of these things together. So we love what's there. We have an emerging mining industry that's exploring in the north of our shire. At the moment, our closest mine site's 210 kilometres away, but we've been working with them to talk about how it's really important as they're growing and building the size of their sites and their footprint in our shire. That it's really important that they're trying to keep their impact on our night sky pollution to a minimum as well. So we have a regular annual symposium where we get together with them and our pastoralists and our other suppliers that support our area. And we have conversations around what we value, and protecting our night sky is one of those things. So we know that it's easier to do when you don't have stuff there to begin with, but it doesn't mean you should let rest on your laurels. We think it's still really it's important for us to protect what's important to us. So these are all things that have been happening. So we've also become part of the Global Media Skies network program. We've had some teething problems because even the lights on the cameras that we've mounted have been attracting bugs, as we have here in Australia. But I have just had word in the last few weeks that they have worked out how to get over our bugs flying over the screens. So we're hoping to have live broadcasts from our night sky camera in town, being live every night on our Shire website, which will be really, really exciting. And we are busily going out and recording our night sky light levels, building up a database so that we can see where we are, and doing that in places where we're looking to develop, in our brightest places, in our darkest places, to keep a record of where we started from, so that as we continue to grow, we can see how we can minimize the impact that our development is having on our skies. So that's part of our fun, and some of our high school students are getting involved in that process as well. So are getting really, excited about helping us to record this data. So from here, we're going to continue our application to preserve, to become an international dark sky community. And then we also want to protect our entire shire, the whole 57,809 square kilometres. And we will do that in partnership with our friends at DBCA, which is National Parks, with our traditional owners and with our pastoralists. to make sure that we're preserving a patch of sky for generations to come. So that's pretty much where we're at in the Upper Gascoyne. I'm so sorry I didn't have that presentation there, but I will get that along so that everyone can have a look at it and see the resources that we have and how incredible our night skies are.
Nice. Thank you so much, Ainsley. It's beautiful to hear about the Shire and all the space. Great commercial for Western Australia. I can't wait to visit someday. And we look forward to yeah, seeing that live video and hearing more from you in a little bit.
Yeah,
So thanks
no, look,
again,
as I said,
folks. Oh, go ahead.
no
Yeah.
worries. Keep enjoying, and I look forward to Q&A.
Sorry, I was breaking up a little bit, but it's just such a pleasure to have you and hear from you. Now we'll move on to our next speaker. Pleasure to introduce to you Sandra Jin, who is a planner, education and research department of the research department at the Shanghai Astronomical Museum. Sandra, welcome, and please take it away. Oh, you come off mute, please. There we go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Chris, and hello, everyone, and many thanks to Dark Sky for bringing us together today. It's wonderful to be among with colleagues and friends who care the same mission that protecting the dark sky. I'm a planner at the Education and Research Center of Shanghai Astronomy Museum, a branch of Science and Technology Museum. My personal background is science communication and art and culture management. As many astronomy museums in the world, Shanghai Astronomy Museum see dark sky protection as an important part of public science communication. Well, but Shanghai, as one of the biggest city in China, we enjoy the decades of rapid economic development, so extensive city lighting. The city almost never sleep, so light pollution is complex. Involves many stakeholders from different sectors. It could be the government who give the plan to the land, the policymakers who shape the regulations, the standards, the scientists who can give us the data and the scientific guidance. So also the urban designer, the architectures, and the light designers who influence the appearance of our city's night sky. The other people are also important, like astronomy. Sorry, I need to shut my PPT. And astronomy enthusiasts, photographers, and they have the passion and they share the public interest in. So even sometimes we think the commercial brand and the real estate and who have the responsibility or who have the passion for us also to protect the night sky. When so we know that for it could not be achieved by a single organization like us. So we think there's opportunity that museum could be a platform and a bridge for initiating like the co-protecting dark sky, the strategy. So focus on building and shared responsibility and like a joint effort to protect the night sky. First, we inspired by Shenzhen, and maybe you know that in 2023, they launched the Shenzhen International Dark Sky Community, which is located near the sea. It's in just an hours away from the city. The surrounding mountains stopped the light pollution from the city. So allowing visitors to rediscover the beauty of the Milky Way, which make us think what we can do in Shanghai, because we are the similar city in China that enjoy very high speed of economic development. So where is our one-way distance from one-way 1 hour's drive from our Milky Way? Actually, we do have one. We're lucky. It was located. I'm not sure whether you can see it. It was located here, some place here is Chongming Island. We found the place we call Zhongtan as literally means the East Beach, an important waterland for bird migration and habits in the world. Recently, it even has been recognized as the natural heritage site. The core area of the wetland is not open to public, so it can protect the birds. However, the surrounding area, they have the open wetland and also have a place like parks, so we can sometimes have the activities, say like star parties, or we see shooting star there. So, but the thing is, this location is far away from where we are. So here is our museum. It's another direction of the city. The night sky around us was not so good, but we have the best skylight there. What we're thinking is what we can do to help people to value and protect the precious dark sky in Shanghai, in that area. I think there was an important opportunity comes around 2003, and when Mr. Ruskin Hartley visited Shenzhen. And during his trip, he made a stop in Shanghai and have some communication with us. And with the help of a famous photographer in China, Mr. Dai Jianfeng. And so we decided to have a exhibition of the dark sky contest, what you call the captured dark. So also we are very lucky we have the sponsored Remy Martin and one Koenig brand. They committed to environment protection and dark sky conservation. So Remy could cover all the cost of the exhibition. And important in the museum world, it's important when you do an international exhibition, you also need to think about something you can link to the local. So we think this is an opportunity to inspire more people to appreciate the value of the night sky of Zhongtan. And we also organize mini contest for the photographer to send us the work they did in Shanghai. And we received almost 200 works, the night sky shooting they did in Shanghai. And 60% of them come from the place what we call Zhongtan. And the winning pieces will also be displayed in this exhibition. The exhibition also is co-branding with important local Shanghai media we call IP Shanghai. Another section, yes, this is the photo. Another section we are showing in this exhibition is focused on the 5 principle outdoor lighting design to promote a sustainable lighting practice. Because we believe if we want to enhance people's appreciation for dark sky and for the better light designing, we need let them to see what is better. So at that moment, we received important help from Li Ruoyu and help us to communicate with the company called Dark Sky based in UK, and they sent us some very good examples what they did and how they illustrate what is the good way to design lighting. And so this has also become a very important part in our exhibition. Besides these exhibitions, we also invite photographers to share their stories and their works to inspire people to value the remaining dark sky in Shanghai. Personally, I feel very happy when the photographer feel proud and they have the duty to make the effort to protect the dark sky of Shanghai. And that means they really become a part of this concept of co-protecting the dark sky. So this is something about the exhibition. I hope you like it. And another part I want to share is we had some short videos focused on the sustainable lighting design and dark sky protection, because in major cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen, we still have a lot to work work to focus on convince people that protecting the dark sky doesn't mean you need to turn off all the lights. It's more about you to design it in a good way. You are to go to control the lighting. So it's also about of awareness and sorry, what's the word? Aesthetics. So we want people really know how to value the dark sky. And so in 2024, we do some videos for that. Maybe we think it will be suitable for online media and will be more for the young audience. They could be short, engaging. So I want to show you, maybe, I'm not sure whether you can hear the voice, but I made some English subtitle. I hope it. Is it work?
地球每自转一圈，昼夜就完成交替，这也影响着所有生命的作息。夜晚的星空总能激发人类的想象力、好奇心，推动科学的进步。然而，随着灯具普及，夜晚的
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just?
的黑暗开始悄然褪色。这些人工照明就像一把双刃剑，给人类带来便利的同时，也产生了光污染，不仅逐渐侵蚀了夜晚的星空，也扰乱了夜间生物的习性。迁徙的候鸟迷失了方向，生长的植物被打乱了节奏，出生的海龟找不到回家的路，就连人类自己的睡眠周期和昼夜节律也受到了严重影响，各种疾病接踵而至。如今，很多人只能通过图片和视频来看到夜晚星空的美丽。孩子们要远离城市去见真实的星空，科学观测也变得举步维艰。若是光污染持续加剧，那是否有一天，暗夜与星空会成为故事里的遥远传说呢？幸运的是，人类意识到了光污染的危害，也开始了保护暗夜的探索和实践，减少不必要的人工照明，出台法律法规，管理规范夜间照明，改变照明理念，精准控制光源，加强科普教育和公众宣传，寻求跨界合作，推广暗夜保护。这些都是在为守护夜空而努力。暗夜保护意义多，听我给你细细说。减少资源的浪费，不仅省钱更可贵。生态平衡守护牢，人类植物都睡好，疫情动物更安心，昼夜节律不失调。关心天文视野妙，研究宇宙少困扰。人人学会巧用灯，暗夜回归会更早。大家一起努力，共同守护星闪耀。
And I think so. So I have another two. I want to show you all of them. Thank you. Hope you like it. Ah, does it happen again?
Yep. There we go. Now you're back.
作为人类智慧的结晶，人工照明为我们的生活增添了很多美好和便利，同时也照亮了人类文明的进程。然而，人工照明的大量使用也带来了不速之客——光污染。它是现代文明发展的副作用，也是过度照明造成的不良后果。光污染有4种分类，它们是如何形成的呢？强光直至你，让难受充斥着你身体。为何多个照明源？混乱是我的杀手锏。我从室外进入住宅，你睡不好，我就没白来。我向上把天空照亮，突出风头，盖过星光。我们个个都很贪婪，点亮所有城市才算完。夜晚是我们的地盘，光污染你好大的胆！ 你的罪行我数不完，破坏了地球节律，扰乱了生态系统，剥夺了人和动物的睡眠。你谁呀？关你什么事儿？这位就是正义使者夜晚警察暗夜保护，他是与光污染相伴而生的宿敌。我要带点人类和夜晚改造你。看招！暗夜保护用出了他的杀手锏，户外照明5项原则。用光要有明确目的，合理才是第一真理。用光的目标要定向，光线只照在需要的地方。略微要注意到，暖色灯光会更妙。光线别太亮，刚好够照亮，氛围不一样。智慧城市懂精细管理，需要的场合才有光。一套5项小连招，看我把光污染改造好。让我们跟随暗夜保护的脚步，一起减少光污染吧。
So yeah. Oh, again.
近年来，光污染问题变得越来越严重，它像一张无形的网，覆盖了地球的每一个角落。无论是在大城市还是小乡村，到处都能看到它的影子。接下来，让我们以商业室外空间为例，看看哪些错误的布置造成了商业区室外的光污染吧。所有的标牌、景观、装饰都存在过度照明，大多照明设备没有灯罩，灯光角度上倾，这都会让光线向天空方向散逸，形成光污染。改造的方法很简单：减、挡、调、降。减少夜间照明对植物的影响，让树木休眠。保证功能的前提下，灯光藏在低处，关闭水面照明，避免造成水面反光。减少室外照明设备数量，取消多余的装饰照明。拉上窗帘或百叶窗，防止室内光线外溢。使用挡板或防护罩，让灯光向下照明。尽可能使用下射型或背光型灯牌。改变色温，用低于3000K 的暖光。使用 PIR 传感器、计时器，控制灯光时长。改造后的商业灯光是不是更加暗夜友好了？接下来再来看看住宅区，看起来不是很亮，其实也存在着光污染。这里的照明也可以改进一下，保留必要功能性照明，减少装饰照明。超过500流明的灯光使用灯罩进行遮挡，降低照明高度，将所有灯光向下倾斜。使用窗帘或百叶窗，遮挡向外溢散的室内光线。使用感应式照明和定时照明。使用少于1000流明、低于2700K 的暖光。这样改造后，不仅可以减少光线对夜空的影响，还能尽可能的避免室外光线侵入，影响居民的睡眠质量。星光月色不被掩盖，消失的暗夜才能回来。灯光改造未完待续，保护暗夜持续进行，一起遏制光污染蔓延，回归暗夜之象，呈现璀璨星光。
Okay, thanks everyone. This is almost I want to share with you, and the night sky protection needed the effort from every one of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. Those were really informational videos. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. Those are really amazing. And if you're willing to share the links to those, if they're hosted online, or we could provide that to our audience members after the conference as well, just let us know. That was great. Well, thank you everybody for sticking with us, and we'll transition now to just a quick Q&A session with our speakers. So we'll have our speakers come back on. I see, Sandra's already come in, and then Riot will come back on too. And all right, we'll just get our questions going. And folks, if you do have any questions for our speakers or about their work, do let us know, put it into the chat, or if you can put it into the Q&A portion of your screen as well. And unfortunately, it does look like we lost Ainsley from the car, but we'll see if she can come back. So Riot, the first question comes back to you. Well, I guess you seem to be making news in Bangladesh about the study of light pollution. Are you aware of any other groups or initiatives that are focusing on light pollution in Bangladesh?
I think there's very few. When we started exploring about it, we only found 1 or 2 research paper from Bangladesh, and from what we know, that still no other groups are working on this matter. So I think we are the only one. I hope others will join soon.
Perfect. And the next question, Riot, same one for you. What's next for your team after all of your accomplishments and studies? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, since we almost everyone from our team passed our higher secondary school, we are thinking of taking higher degrees, bachelor degrees, and but while continuing this, we will continue our Project Luminous journey as well. And like I said earlier, that we are trying to uh, implement our solutions in real life, like we are trying to reach out the government on that matter. We will try to convince them on the harm and causes of light pollution, and we will try to convince them by implementing the solution so that the Dhaka city will be less light polluted, and finally it will be completely light pollution free.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's really the goal. And I know you all have a place within the dark sky movement. That is such great work. Sandra, this question is for you. Do you know how far your videos and content was shared? Like how many people saw those or anything like that?
Yes, I think it's over. Oh, I don't have the numbers now, but I can calculate it. It's almost let me see. Yeah, maybe I can give the number later. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna assume it's a lot, just given how
Yes.
awesome those were and the expansion of the Shanghai Astro Museum as well. Any question, I guess, about the museum, if you are able to answer, is light pollution and dark sky preservation part of the regular content for the public, or is that only during star parties? Could you share more about what the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it's a regular part of our museum's content. We have, besides what I've talked about, the exhibition and also the video we made, and we have mini lectures, or you can think it like a mini course for students, and they will spend like 15 minutes with us. We tell them all the background of the light pollution and what we can do for light pollution. And my personal favorite part is I usually like want them to see the two different pictures. I think I show it in the video as well. When there's a bad design of the light, when there's a good design of the light. I'm not going to tell them what's good and what is bad. I just I will ask them what's the difference between these two. Sometimes children can tell the difference, sometimes they cannot, but I will help summarize it for them. And after that, I will give them a bad example of the light pollution photos, ask them what we can do to make it better. And which make me feel happy as they always can give me the right answer. Like they always can say, we need a hat, we need something to cover the light. I think this is the most important things that they know they need to cover the light. Don't let the light go everywhere. Then I think, okay, you cannot get all the information from a small lecture, but you go to the most important part. And this is also a very good point. And sometimes we have some programs with schools, and we tell the I don't have the background in science or astronomy, but my colleagues will do this. They will have the cooperation with the teachers and tell them how to measure the how to say the sky, the light, how light the sky is or how dark the sky is, and so they can calculate it, and so the students can give some small mini report about that. So help them to understand the conditions of the sky. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love it when families and kids are engaged, and it seems like they're more aware of the topic than maybe some adults are. And so that's great to see that you're interacting at that level.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm taking a few more questions here. This one actually goes back to you, Riot. And you may have went over this in your content. We may have missed it. Did you go back to any of those places or storefronts afterwards to talk about overlighting or some solutions?
Yeah, we often do that. We measured the lux. We didn't talk much with the store owners, but yeah, so we awared them about the light pollution harms, and we awared them that their artificial light system is not good. They should improvise it. They should develop it. And we sometimes went back and to check if they did something good, if they correct their lighting system, but sadly we don't find that much. Yes, sometimes we found some owners or some shops that they after we we alerted them, they changed the the lighting system of their shops. So yes, I think we are improving little by little, one by one.
That's great. That's how it works here too. And that's amazing that you're staying steadfast and working on that as a community and bringing that solutions forward. That's amazing. So thank you again, Sandra and Riot. Now, folks, we do have a special surprise as well. We will host one more speaker. His name is Ashu Lin, and he is from our Taiwan delegation. Let me see if we can get him onto the screen and hear him. Ashu, are you there?
Yes.
And then we can hear you. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Let me show the slide. I want to share with you what's happened in Taiwan in a short. Okay. Later. So you can see the slide.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. My topic is about we cancel the subsidies of the all street lighting and in Taiwan. You can see then it's okay. Yeah. See, the farmer have the protest to the overlighting for his rice field. We are the crowded over lighting islands in the ocean. And big news, this year, we canceled all the subsidies of the street light, but this policy is almost lasting 80 years from the Japanese colony time. And we know more than half island is come from the public lighting. So public lighting is very matters to our lighting control. And we know lighting is associated with the modernity in different way. Even in capitalism, in Soviet Union, it's the same. And in Asia, we find the first street light in Shanghai. 20 years later, you can see still a wall city, and Taipei have the street light. We Asia is very like the new things. I call this character is the phototropism. And you can make this comparison. The California and Taiwan. In California, they produce a lot of the solar energy and to consumer, but they use the storage for the night use. In Taiwan, we are not yet so that. So it means dark sky initiative is very important echo to the energy reform. What it means? When we talk about the circadian rhythms, always focus on the clinical or individual level. But if you think about the mega infrastructure, the more the energy structure fixed to the circadian rhythm, the less artificial light at night. So never underestimate dark sky initiative. The origin of the old subsidies in Taiwan is the Electricity Act 25, Article 22. So the regulators say we have the at maximum have the half free for the price, and there's so many severe consequences. For example, the street light, the school, the hospital, the fishing boat, all the taxpayer pay the bill in half. You can see the Taipei 101 and the municipal-owned stadium, the arenas, 24 hours for the overlighting. And there's so many black lamp. What it means? It means they cheating for the power company. They don't pay for it because in a local election, some candidate will build up the street light, but it's illegal and unstable. So street lighting, something like the favor in the local politics, is not good. And the outcome is we have the more than 2 million public lamp and increasing 5% per year. It's increasing high. And I think it is the kind of the democratic deficits. Yeah, very easy to expand, but very difficult to constrain. So overlighting present the entropy of the democracy. So high power is a monster. As I call it, is the Leviathan and the victim. Because our GDP is similar to South Korea and Japan, but our price is relatively low. So the accumulated deficits of this company is 16 billions in the end of this year. It's huge. It means a very huge momentum. So in the past years, we have the two proposals for President Tsai. We want to regulate lighting pollution, and we want to cancel all the lighting subsidies in 5 years. But since change, we have the rehearsal to cancel the water bamboo field in Puli. It's just the gateway of the dark sky park in Taiwan. And then last year, we have the political landscape change, okay? We have the minority president, and he launched a total recall. He wants to recall some opposition parties' legislator, but no single legislator is recalled, okay? So it is the political chaos. But sometimes political chaos have the good consequences. After the chaos, the settlements come, cancel all the subsidies, and introduce a universal cash handout, 300 USD per person. Okay, in this year, we go to the Congress very, very often. We use the CMS, we use the public hearing, Yeah, we push to the government entity to focus on the subsidized cancel. Okay, so I think the next 2 years will be the peak period for the lighting control in Taiwan. I think the 5 principles of dark sky will be very useful for us. And I have the 3 strategy. First one is the advocacy tour in the township level. This picture is yesterday. Last night, we have the shading the lamp in the mountain area. So we must reduce the total flux, lighting flux of the public lighting. Second, we use the netizen and civil auditing to calculate every single bill who want to accountable for this. Yeah, it's we'll go with the accounting skill. Third, we use the smart lighting as an initiative. If you have the one smart lighting and you cancel 5 old the traditional lighting. So I have the very impressed about the Stockholm case. Yeah, people change their mind for the better outcome. In the very beginning, every citizen in Stockholm against this reform, but later they say they are support this reform in the very beginning. At least the 40% citizen, the viewer, change their mind, but they don't know. So leave the theory. So just merge them. Merge means the push very lightly, very tender. I think it is the same to dim the overlighting at night, the public street lighting. So the lesson from our case, first, democracy works. If you want to leverage the issues, you need the craft, you need a skill. And chaos sometimes can create opportunity for change. And when you prepare alternative must be the plural. Yeah, people love change and love to win. We dark sky something like the knife. We are not a big knife, we are a small knife to cut the out-of-date subsidies. And dark sky is net entropy for democracy and the environment. And net entropy is word from the Erwin Schrödinger. Life feeding negative entropies for living is quantum mechanism. So in the past semester, we have the first college course in Taiwan University. I have the term, how to deal with the dilemma of the outdoor lighting. We have the triangle. For example, you can see the Buddhist monks want to meditate in the wood, right? How to free from the mosquito disturbing? You need a tent. So if you want to controllable, you want to fit the environment, maybe you just increase the system's complexity. So it's possible. In the end, I want to say light and democracy in the same. We are enjoying the life at night, but we suffer from the overlighting at night. We enjoy the vibrant democracy, but sometimes they create chaos. So in Chinese, we say 苦乐同源. In 25 centuries ago, there's a word, beware of the brightness and hold to the darkness. 知其白，守其黑. Left the calligraphy like this. It's our Oriental philosophy anchored to the Dark Sky Initiative. And right now we have the new project in Mountain Lara. It's supposed to the USPD in Asia, number 2, there's a so high biodiversity and very nice view. So, and the end, to next year, we were first time to host the Dark Sky Forum in Taipei. And please, my colleagues worldwide, just visit Taiwan. We can see something good and something bad. You know, the tower is under construction. It's very close to the Dark Sky Park. They want to build a huge artificial light at night. It's wrong, but we want to witness how to change these wrong things. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Aju. That was, I mean, somebody said it in the chat, best educational presentations ever. I completely agree, to the point where I'm forgetting to even do the housekeeping part. This is just so good. Thank you so much, folks. And I know we're just about up on time, but I just want to, I'm just astounded by the level of discourse and wisdom and fortitude that you all have and are sharing with us. Very good evening, just wonderful. I'm just reading the chats here. Love the quote. I agree, Carolyn. Super cool stuff. Beautiful, incredibly
Namaste.
inspiring, formative, helpful. Keep it coming, folks. I can read it all day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We do have to hop off for a break before we get to our next session. And that one is coming up in just about, let's see, a half hour. We'll be starting with workshop 2, Science for Global Impact, featuring someone you may all know, Kelly Blake. She'll be back to moderate that session. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you want to hold the line, that's fine. We will go back to the waiting room and do all the fun videos and stuff. And until the next session, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.